I do have a Patreon. Yes, I do. I've had it for a while. Didn't know what I was gonna do with it. You know, I got my old scraggly lights here, and I got my old scraggly laptop here, and it works. It's working. We don't have the problems we used to, so I don't need your money. I don't want nothing to do with your banks. They can go to hell. But we need to think continuity. So I used to work on growth systems. That's where I came from. To explain it real quickly, because I think Lori was asking me to say something. I used to work on automation and robotics, which is why I'm here. We need to use robotics and automation to ensure continuity of the species. Look at the messages from the past, right? People from the past were always trying to send us messages. We always go extinct. We always lose. Like, what else would be the purpose of a big, massive stone monument other than to explain to people in the future, nothing else makes it through these calamities, that we were great at one time. Let's make the world great again. And they lost it all. So we have to think continuity. Be the upgrade. And man, this name fits every morning. Be the upgrade at YouTube. You gotta be the upgrade. We need to be the upgrade of all the previous civilizations that went extinct, that put all of their power, their intellectual capability, their labor, their force into a few violent psychopaths that run the world and create these world governments. All right. So yeah, so anyway, point is with that. So yeah, I believe in automated growth systems. Automated growth systems. It's always annoyed me and irritated me that we've had the ability to feed the planet for how long now? We can make a car from robots since the 1950s, and you can't feed the human beings. You can't put a seed, cultivate the soil, put a seed in the ground, and grow food with an automated robot and feed the world. Hell yeah, they can. They could have done that decades ago, and they're not doing it. Let me explain to you why. And I do get a little emotional on this one. I do get emotional because your leaders are psychopathic, murderous, killer, genocidal fools. That's why. They're supposed to be. I ain't mad. I get a little upset, but they're supposed to be. Why? Because we believe in them. Everything becomes a god you believe in. If you go pick up a little piece of something and you start worshiping, it's going to become a god. Somebody else will come around like, oh, what's he doing? He's worshiping the hell is that? Is that some okra? The hell is that? Oh, maybe okra the gods. And you're like, maybe he knows something we don't know. Let's worship it too. Everything you worship becomes a god. So your psychopathic leaders are supposed to be. Don't get me started no damn Bernie Sanders. Don't even come over here with that nonsense. Yes, he is a psychopathic nut. Why? Because he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be. I think he's probably a decent guy, but you make him a psychopathic nut. Why? Because he votes for war, right? I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. They all are. They all are. And the more you worship them, the more you love them, the more you make excuses for them, the more they will murder, kill, rape, destroy, pillage, and destroy this damn planet. All right. So anyway, how y'all doing? Everybody good? We all gonna die. Hashtag we all gonna die. We all gonna die. All right. I got some comments here. Damn it. The peanut butter's not holding up my... I wish y'all could kind of see some of the stuff I do here. This is my device that I use to look at the YouTube comments. And I got peanut butter holding it up, but it's organic though. It's nature's pride. Y'all see, that's organic. I ain't faking the funk. I'm real with the funk. It's empty because I've been eating peanut butter and jelly. But I got it holding up this thing, propping it up. But I ate too much peanut butter yesterday. Damn it. It's not heavy enough. Let me see if I can find something else to hold it up. Yeah, and so that's why I do have a Patreon, because I think we need to save the next generation, but it shouldn't be me. It's not gonna happen on my budget. It ain't gonna happen with my videos. I don't need nobody help with my videos. I do this because I'm supposed to do it. I do this because I'm an adult. I put my own money into it because we need to stop fussing, fighting, killing 7 billion cousins around this planet. All right, got an old dirty coffee cup. This will hold my phone. This will hold the device. There we go. There we go. See, I don't need that. I don't need your money. I don't need it. I ain't want your money. But I want automated robotic growth systems that are open source, that feed the next generation and maybe us. If we do it fast enough, it's all technology, but no one's doing it. And no one's doing it in a way designed to be free. So it's not that there aren't automatic growth systems. They're all over the place. There's a whole bunch of them, but they're all trying to make money. I'm gonna tell you the difference. I don't want to make money. I don't want to make any money from it. I want other people to join in the project. This is what I want. I'm gonna tell you what I want, and we're gonna move on because I don't want to spend time on this. First, let me change the music. This intro music that make me all excited when we start yelling and stuff. Like that. Boom. All right. No, I want a team of people. I want. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for software engineers. People got a little bit of time. I look for no part-time work, and I ain't paying you a damn thing unless they send all the money. I ain't paying y'all nothing. You know what? Nah, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna take that back. If I get this team of people to do this, because I don't want to do it, I just want to use whatever this little video voice thing I got to try to help the next generation, help people today if we can, give them food. Food should be free. Food is always free. It was free in the past, and we have all the tools to make it free today. And the reason why human beings are psychopathic and violent because they don't have food, house, and water. I'm not working on the water. One of y'all got that. I ain't working on the house. If y'all, somebody else got to 3D print some houses and give them for free, we can do that. We know we can do it. 12 companies are doing it. I'm working on the food part of it. I've been doing it for about a decade now. That's why I left big business and big corporate America, because they're psychopathic killers and they try to use my intellectual skills so they can make money. And I think that's a dumb idea. I wasn't born here to help billionaires in the pharmaceutical industry and the chemical industry and who else I work for, the fast food industry and the lawn care industry. Who else I work for? I work for all these big corporations. I wasn't here for that. I'm here for your children, and I'm here for you. That is what I'm here for. I'm not like your government, okay? I'm not here to rule you. I'm not here to lead you. I'm not here to tell you any damn thing. I am here to serve you. 7 billion, that's not what, it won't be 7 billion, because I got to take myself out. So it's 6,999,000 something, 999 something in a dot and some cents, something like that. That's who I'm here to work for. That's who I'm here to serve. Not big corporations. So I'm not supposed to be working. So building automated grow systems with open source technology is my intent. Why? Because I think all children born on earth deserve food. They don't deserve debt. They don't deserve to be enslaved. They don't deserve labor. They should be born and be allowed to go be human beings and serve 6,999,999. Yeah, you get the point. You get the point. So that's what I'm looking for. It's a team of people that have to do that. I can't do that. It doesn't work on my budget. That's why I stopped. Got to a point where I realized conceptually, like, wow, this could work. This could work. 2 ideas. One, automated grow systems that fit in today, where we're just growing massive amounts of basil and tomatoes and peppers, and we're funneling them into the inner cities and the trailer parks and any nations where people are starving and hungry, any nations where people are suffering from climate change that y'all want to argue about. I'm not into arguing. I think you're stupid. I have no interest in your argument. Don't care who caused it. Don't care who's making it worse. Not my business. I don't give a 2 damns about none of that. I give a damn about the people in areas like where the Sphinx is, right? Where there's no water, so they don't have any food. My interest is not to bomb them and steal from them. My job as a servant to them, which is what your governments never do, is to make sure that I take my privilege and I give it to them somehow in the next generation. And to me, that's in food. So that's what I'm looking to do. Anybody who wants to help with me, I appreciate that. So yes, there is a Patreon for that. No, I ain't spending money. I have nothing to do with the money. I want a board to figure out what happens with the money. And it's not against people who have Patreons for what they do. God bless them. If they're out there speaking truthful things and they're trying to help the human race move forward and help these special people who are still out there cheering and making psychopaths out of leaders and giving control of the system. We need to think human continuity. Government's thinking government continuity. And they're not even government. They're just wardens, okay? Let's be clear. They are just wardens. They work for big billionaires or trillionaires, and we have no idea who these people even are. You don't know what I'm talking about? Take a look at the banking system, the central banking system. Economics is everything. Money rules the world. Everybody knows that. Money makes all the decisions. Everybody knows that. Makes the world go round. Everybody knows that. So just take that and process that. And every time somebody start talking election and vote and Democrat, Republican, whatever, nations, throw all of that bull out. Throw all of that bull out and understand how the world actually works. You have very powerful central banking systems that keeps everybody in conflict, and they want to rule the world. And to my knowledge, there's like 3 of them, Or I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't know. We know the Rothschild is one. We know Russia's got theirs. We know China has theirs, and there are probably a bunch of other little ones in there. Focus on that. Focus on that. That's where all the conflict is coming from. Nations don't exist. The governments are just wardens over you. You are no more than a prisoner in a boarded up area fighting over commissary. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. That's it. We need to think about continuity into the future like these people. Nobody knows who built this thing. They did, and they were gone a long time ago. They developed high technologies like Atlantis and all the other stuff that they talk about. And they all disappeared. We have the ability to give everybody on this planet a fish. A vegan fish. I get in trouble. We have the ability to give everybody a vegan fish and teach them how to catch vegan fish. Have to update that quote. Why won't we do it? Why won't we do it? See, it's not about welfare. It's not about anything other than evolving forward and always using technology to help people. We can feed them all. And we can make sure that they are all individual, strong pockets taking care of themselves, right? And the realization that I'd come to years ago was that people aren't going to feed themselves for whatever reason. Me, I love the dirt. I got my feet in the dirt every damn day. I got my fingers in soil all the time. I'm keeping my fingernails clipped because they always got soil in them because I love doing it. But most people simply aren't going to do that. And while I can go grow my own food when this Great Depression comes and the dollar collapses and recessions come and nuclear war pops off or whatever happens, I can take care of my damn self. What I can't take care of is droves of starving humans coming to steal the food I got. They're just going to murder me and take the farm. Right? We all have to be individual little pockets of sustainable communities taking care of themselves, and that is not a nation, because nations don't even exist anymore. It's not a state. It means you need to be small pockets of human beings taking care of yourself. Because when bad times come, you don't know where they're going to come. Whether it's a flood, a tsunami, an asteroid, super volcano, your idiot governments launching off nuclear missiles, parking nuclear missiles in space and dropping bombs on your head. You have no idea where people are going to make it. You got to be like the Tibetans, right? You got to be like the Tibetan culture is one of the oldest cultures that survive all your ignorant governments and the environments trying to destroy the planet since thousands of years, right? The Aborigines have some too. In India, they got some ancient cultures that are still cultivating land, still doing what they used to. And I believe there's some in South America. There's some Mayans when I was in South America. Still living the way they always have. We still have uncontacted tribes that don't want to have any damn thing to do with us. There's a good reason, right? We are the psychopathic killers. We have become death. Murderers of the next generation and each other because we're greedy bastards and we don't want to do anything of what those gods taught us. So you can stop going to church. I know this is a dank message. I don't even know what dank means. What the hell dank mean, by the way? People say dank all the time. I'm going to use it. I don't even know what it means. It's dank. It's dank. It sounds like it fitting, so I'm going to use it. You can stop going to temple. You can stop going because you don't actually believe. You can stop being an atheist because you don't believe in natural law. Stop it. You don't believe in taking care of the next generation. You don't believe in feeding and providing and looking out for each other. Stop being human while you're at it too. All right, I'm done with the thing. You know what precipitated this? Outside of the fact that I've always been doing this. All right. Oh, I didn't wrap up. I'm sorry. Is that Lori? I didn't wrap up. So wrap up. So working on 2 prototypes. First prototype is a grow system based in aquaponics that grows ridiculous amounts of food. Because aquaponics is a ridiculous type of technology that the Aztecs invented. Take water from a pond, a lake, whatever, even an aquarium. Pump it to a height, send it down a grow bed 1,000 feet, let it come back 1,000 feet, and grow 1 million heads of lettuce. Guess what? Everybody in Detroit gets to eat. They don't have to buy it. What is the cost of it? 1 solar panel. 1 solar panel and a little garden pump that might cost $200. So we can feed everybody, we just choose not to. Your government can feed everybody, it's just not their job. Their job are to be wardens. Their job is to keep you fighting with each other so you inmates don't realize that they control you. They're not a government. They're not governing you. They are rulers. They are literally ruling you. They speak down to you. They write laws against you. They take your rights anytime a corporation or this Rothschild banking setup over them want to. We need to take our power back. We need to become our own force. You know, like people, a lot of my friends into this revolution thing. And I'm just like, ignore, just not interested at all. Why would we go and murder a bunch of people we can walk away from? A system we can walk away from. Why would we go and get millions of people killed? Children even, old ladies, grandpapas. Why would we get them killed in a revolution when we could just be smart, stop being consumers and just walk away? Why would we do that? Why would we become them? Why would we become the same psychopathic murderers and killers that are genociding people all over this planet on every damn continent? Why in the hell would we get millions of people killed and all we got to do is teach people how to grow food, feed them, make sure they have the things that they need so they stop being in conflict with their neighbors and everybody else, so they stop raping and abusing and doing the activities that they do? Why don't we just listen to the neuroscientists? Why don't we just listen to the professionals for one damn time in the human race and do something that makes any bit of sense? Anyway, all right, I'm off in a tangent. So that's what I'm working on. That's what I've been working on. I stopped working on it years ago. Gotta make money. I gotta put food in my belly. So one is an in-place grow systems where we roll them out and they're free. Open source on the internet, got a web page. This is how you do it, low cost as possible. We're not using anybody's technology that's locked up in licensing. And if we have whatever we got to develop, we'll develop ourselves. And a lot of it's based in open source circuit board called Raspberry Pi and Arduino. If you guys don't know what that is, don't worry about it. I'm going to bore you geeking out. The whole point is it empowers children to do what massive corporations can do. I've met a couple just yesterday. Their granddaughter at the age of 18. Oh, I can't tell you what she did. I can't tell you. I can't tell you what she did with the Raspberry Pi. But if you look it up, solid technology. I played with it for years. I played with the Arduinos, and I realized that they're not faking the funk. This is real deal, and it's low cost. So the idea is we need to make grow systems that are low cost, that are open source, so they can be perfected by the thousands of programmers, tens of thousands, millions if possible, to be better and better and better and better. Because no human being should pay a dime for food, not even a penny. And so one, it's a locked-in, massive grow system that you can deploy right off of a city like Washington, D.C. or Detroit or anywhere in Palestine, West Bank, wherever our cousins are and they need food, we should be providing for them. The rest of us, we're going to keep buying food because we can. But we need to take care of the people in most need right now. So that's one of them. And the other is a robotic drone. I talked about garden drones a long time ago. Garden drones are simply this. If you can take a drone off out of Nevada or wherever these little monsters they fly them from, and you can fly 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 miles across the planet and murder a couple of human beings, pick out a building and human beings you want to murder and kids outside playing soccer and drop bombs on their head and fly the damn thing back in all kinds of weather. Hell yeah, you can make a garden drone. We need green drones, and that's the other part of the project, is robotics, using as much learning software as possible. You know, we know that we can cultivate the soil, a garden drone, plant the seed, water the seed, prune the weeds, and harvest the fruit. And what made that last piece available, we didn't have that for a while, something called LiDAR. So I've already geeked out and I'm probably pushing some people away. I don't want to go through too much of it, but we absolutely can do it. We just chosen not to. And the beauty of doing that on a small scale, which is all I could afford to do in a small little garden, is that it creates a prototype, right? And you have this prototype that is very low cost that you can roll up on larger scales, right? And if we can do that, your little townships and governments, if you still want to use those things, your churches, your organizations who want to feed people can buy a drone that you just roll up on the back of a tractor trailer, open up the back, the thing comes out, it starts to cultivate or it starts to till the soil. It's got to take down some trees. You know, this is unfortunately how it works. And so we are destroying some ecosystems, but the beauty of doing it with green garden drones is they can build ecosystems for other things, right? They can rebuild the ecosystem, so they can plant the tomatoes and they can plant the perennials and natural things around them that allow it. You don't need a human in massive combines harvesting a massive farm that's completely unsustainable and not permaculture, right? So it's doing it from a garden drone perspective, where it actually is using LiDAR, where it knows where something's growing, where it's not to. It's growing what you call weeds, and it's growing food. It's growing food for the rabbits and food for the humans. And so you can program all of this, but you can't do it on a massive greed scale on a massive farm. So those are the things that I like, and those are the things that I want to go. So, all right, I'm done with that, not saying any more on that. That's what that Patreon is for. You want to throw a few pennies in the bucket, throw a few pennies in the bucket. Let's move on. All right, so, and the other thing which kind of syncs up with this message of continuity and making sure we go back to being strong people and using our privilege to help out our cousins who aren't doing so well, is becoming individual strong communities again. We have to become individual strong communities again, because whenever these nut job psychopaths and the people who keep supporting them finally do what they do, we need to make sure people in different areas all over this planet have the best tools of the time to take care of themselves, right? We don't want to build massive stone statues just to let people know we were here in the future. We want them to have the technology to keep moving forward. And by the way, if you're one of the people who make it through this, and I'm on the side, I got to show you something from Putin while I'm doing that. I absolutely have to show you. If you haven't seen this, you need to see it. Thank you for sharing. People need to see this part right here. Forgot what I was going to say. Now, that's the problem with not having a script. I just talk. I forgot what I was going to say. Somebody remind me. I go back to it. Meantime, pull up Putin. We need to be individual, strong communities, because these nut jobs are going to kill everything. And while I see a lot of my friends waking up, a lot of people are not waking up, and they're getting ready to go and vote in some more psychopaths. All right, we go right here. Right here. And Putin's just like your Bernie Sanders and your Donald Trumps and your Barack Obamas, and they made him a psychopath too. But every now and then, even a psychopath has a heart, and that's something true. So listen to this real quick. Watch this.
From the national headquarters of RT America in our nation's capital. Hello again, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez. You know, as Americans, we don't usually get to hear directly from Vladimir Putin, no less unfiltered Vladimir Putin. But tonight, I think it's important that we do so. To those of you thinking, well, of course, you're going to play Putin sound bites. You're RT. No, actually, I kind of had to talk our editorial staff into this one, because over the weekend I happened to be listening to what he had to say about how dangerous our world is right now, and it got me to thinking that whether we think he's an angel or the devil himself, as he's made out to be in the U.S. media, generally speaking, the questions that he is raising about nuclear proliferation may be paramount to our survival.
Maybe.
Если мы не будем держать под контролем этого огненного змея, если мы выпустим его, не дай бог, из бутылки, это же может привести... Если мы не будем держать под контролем этого огненного змея, если мы выпустим его, не дай бог, из бутылки, это же может привести к глобальной катастрофе. Вот смотрите, на сегодня все... занимаются проблемами окружающей среды. И это правильно, потому что это глобальная угроза. Изменение климата, антропогенные выбросы.
Emissions and so on. All this is correct.
Правильно, дети уже этим занимаются, девочки, мальчики.
Children are entangled in this. Girls and boys all over the world.
По всему миру. Но они не осознают, молодые люди, а тем более подростки, дети не осознают глобальную угрозу.
They're not aware of the global threat. What global threat? How many? They're not supposed to be. The children are supposed to be playing. You're supposed to be worried about it. You, the adult, you're the one who's supposed to know better. You're the one who's supposed to be doing your research and not getting behind psychopaths, making it worse. You're supposed to know the threat. Kids aren't supposed to know the threat. You're supposed to be protecting them from the threat, not becoming the threat.
угрозы и такого серьезного вызова, связанных с вопросами возможных глобальных конфликтов. Об этом должны подумать взрослые тети и дяди. Но у меня такое впечатление, что как-то примелькались эти вопросы. Они как-то немножко ушли на второй план. Это не может не...
Why? Emotions, not being an adult, acting like a child, being immature, arguing with other people over politics that don't matter in a world that's being destroyed. This raises natural concerns.
Now, Putin insists that he's willing to do whatever it takes to renew any and all treaties, including the START Treaty. And then he describes in quite ominous terms what can happen if we continue building more and more nuclear weapons.
Hope you're paying attention. No one is interested in renewing the START Treaty.
Не хочется продлевать договор СМ-3. Ну не будем тогда.
We will not renew
никто не видит.
We have already said 100 times.
Мы 100 раз уже сказали, что мы готовы.
We are ready to do so.
Никто ведь не ведет переговоров до сих пор.
No one is willing to talk about it with us.
Ведь никаких формального оформления.
That there are no formal negotiation process.
Переговорного процесса нет. А в 2021 году все закончится.
Everything will expire in 2021.
Я обращаю ваше внимание.
Mind you, there will be no more.
Вообще не будет никаких инструментов, ограничивающих гонку вооружения. Или, допустим,
Or, for example, deploying weapons into outer space. And what are we doing at Rotherica? What are we doing? Which it wouldn't matter if Clinton was president, if Bernie was president, or whoever y'all want, whatever psychopath you want to put in there, right? Because it's Rotherica. They don't actually make the decisions. They take the orders. They're wardens. Space Force. We know it's been around for a long time. Started way back before with Reagan, probably even before that. So we know they've had Space Force. We know the trillions went missing. We know they've been parking nuclear weapons over top of the heads of your other cousins. And we know the Russians want to do so also. We know the British want to do it. Everybody's got to do it. Why does everybody got to do it? Because they're told to do it. And if the others are doing it, what are you going to do? If you think your neighbor's trying to kill you, what are you going to do? You're going to buy a gun, just like they are. And so what he's trying to do, he's trying to tell you, hey, man, I don't want to do this. I don't want. Are you sure you really want to do this? Are you sure you really want us to threaten your population? And these are things that adults need to be thinking about. You children that in adult costume, that y'all keep on going on with your politics. Y'all keep on going on. This man's trying to send you a warning.
Размещение оружия в космосе.
He's trying to save
Мы с
the
вами
world.
понимаем, что это такое или нет?
Do we understand what this means or
Но
not?
спросите у
Do you?
экспертов. Это значит,
Ask
что над
the
головой
experts.
каждого из
It means that each
нас
of us,
постоянно, над
say,
головой
under a
постоянно будет
nuclear
висеть,
weapon,
допустим, ядерное оружие. Вот прямо постоянно.
permanently.
Но мы же делаем то же самое. Причем,
But we are doing this and doing it quickly.
ну кто-нибудь вообще будет об этом
Will anyone ever think about it?
думать, говорить, проявлять какую-то озабоченность?
Talk about it or show any concern?
Полная тишина.
No, complete silence.
Или создание ядерного оружия
Or take
малой
low-yield
мощности.
nuclear weapons,
Использование стратегических
or
ракет в неядерном
non-nuclear
исполнении.
strategic
Будто с
missiles.
подводной лодки где-то из районов
What if
Мирового
overweight
океана
strategic
стартует
missile is
ракета
launched from a submarine in
на
the middle of the
глобальной
ocean?
дальности, стратегическая. Откуда мы знаем, она с
How
ядерным
do we
зарядом
know?
или нет? Вы понимаете, насколько
It
это
carries
серьезно,
nuclear.
насколько это
I
опасно.
missed that one. Sorry about that. Your brother talk kind of fast. He go, he's in with
Стратегическая.
it.
Откуда мы знаем, она с ядерным?
How do we know? If it carries a nuclear charge or not?
Вы понимаете, насколько это серьезно,
Do we realize how serious and dangerous this
насколько это
is?
опасно?
He does.
Is
Do you?
Putin issuing an SOS to the
Hell yeah,
world?
he
Is the
is.
warning
SOS.
diplomatic, earnest, personal, or all of the above?
SOB, save our banking planet.
He was asked by a reporter if the world is becoming more dangerous and if he's worried about that. His response, which seemed to go on for quite some time, should, regardless of what we might think of the man or his motives, be taken seriously.
Seriously.
This is the news with Rick Sanchez, where statements by foreign heads of state like these, generally ignored by the corporate media, is why we say it's time to do news again.
It's time to do news again. It's time to be adults again. It's time to grow the hell up again. It's time to stop playing politics again. It's time to start feeding the world. It's time to stop fighting with your neighbors. It's time to give up on your ignorant politics. It's time to stop with the racism. It's time to stop with all your isms, all your teams and tribes. We are facing the end of this civilization. And I hope you do it. I do, but I can't depend on you. I can't depend on you because I see what you post. I see what you post, and as an adult, as a father, I have no other choice but to work on Plan B. Why? Because your same psychopathic, murderous government is working on Plan B. Your same government are building bunkers to hide from the destruction that they are rolling out. And they are not including you. How dumb do you gotta be? How lost and ignorant must one be to keep heading to the pole to vote this nonsense? Boggles my mind. Boggles my mind. Such a phenomenal species with such capability, but so clueless as to what's happening in the world. Cheering our end.
We count likes, calories.
I'm not done. That's the last one, sure.
Continue our look at, I got a chuckle out of the crew, at AI, artificial intelligence. But tonight, our warning is not about AI in general, as we talked about yesterday. We decided to drill down on this a little bit more and talk about some of the questions that we probably should be asking before we unleash this thing, right? Wouldn't that be smart? And what we want to focus on tonight is the weaponization of AI. And the dangers that could possibly present in and of itself. News with Rick Sanchez, special correspondent Michelle Greenstein, who, by the way, also has all of her teeth, is good enough to join us now to talk about this. I understand, young lady, that there are examples of haywire incidents when it comes to the weaponization of AI, correct?
Of course. Well, I mean, the latest chapter here is Lockheed Martin's helicopter pilot augmentation system called the Matrix. And they actually tested this late last month. So let's take a look at some of this footage. We tested this on a helicopter late last month. It was the first time that Lockheed Martin tested autonomous helicopter flight. Now, this technology comes from a DARPA program called ALIAS, which stands for Aircrew Labor in Cockpit Automation System. And Lockheed Martin's Black Hawk helicopter has been chosen as the platform for the first time to integrate ALIAS.
So it's there when the pilot needs the aircraft to fly itself, keep it free of obstacles so the pilot can focus on more of a mission commander type role. But the pilot's also able to interact with the system to resuggest or reroute or replan on the fly.
So I think the reason this type of technology is important is to reduce workload, the piloting workload, and let the mission crews concentrate on what they're really there to do, which is to either execute the medevac, the close air support mission, or whatever they're there to do. And rather than concentrate on moving controls, they can concentrate on what really needs to be done.
So basically what they're saying is that we're going to remove the flying task from the human pilot. The helicopter itself will be able to handle the flight, so the pilot can focus on the bigger picture.
I can't help. Maybe it's because I'm...
Pause. Pause before he says that. Sister Rebecca said the truth. For the first time, what is she talking about? The fact that your government's always been lying to you. And I can guarantee, I can back up what she said. And I can't tell you why I know, but I'll tell you this. They've been working on autonomous vehicles for the longest time. Literally since I was a child. And if you think they didn't develop it, I'm 45 years old. They've been working on this stuff for a long time. They've been had it. They're only just releasing this information now. Think of the stealth fighters. They're always 30, 40 years ahead of what they actually release. They don't need humans to go fight. Why don't they need humans to go? Watch this. Watch this.
Older, but I get a little worried, just from a moral standpoint, about the idea.
That's really natural, yeah.
We're essentially doing all these things where we're turning things over to computers.
Right.
To do our thinking, essentially.
Yes. Well, I mean, there's definitely an AI arms race at play right now. This is obviously something the DoD wants. They want that significant advantage, and this is a competitive advantage that all nations want, right? We see the DoD increasing education funding to support the DoD's AI initiatives. The DoD released this AI strategy a few months ago in February, and I was reading it earlier today, and you're hearing all these great things, speed, agility, efficiency, but like you're starting to allude to, there are, of course, consequences. Like, This is the way I like to think about it. So we used to have maybe more of a robust anti-war movement in this country than we do now. You could say that it really hit its peak.
Back when everybody had to serve. In other words, if there's a war.
Exactly. Listen to what this young lady's about to say. This woman is a genius.
Coming, anybody can go, whether you're black, short, no matter your age, no matter your income, right?
Precisely. We had a draft. Both rich and poor, everyone had to pay the price for war. Now, you know, not everyone has to pay the price, so you could say there's less of an anti-war movement. That's definitely one factor, this quote-unquote volunteer army, which is, you know, you could say it's economic coercion. But then with things like drones, there's even less of stakes for people on the ground, and now we have things like AI drones that have already been introduced by the Pentagon.
You know,
so the stakes are just becoming lower and lower for the average U.S. citizen.
This is brilliant. What you're saying is, if you ain't got a dog in the hunt, you ain't going to care.
Right.
If you ain't got a dog in the hunt, quoting a famous Republican congressman once, if you ain't got a dog in the hunt, you ain't going to care. When your child doesn't have to go to war because all the poor Hispanics and black people have to go to war, then you're not going to care. When you're never going to have to go to war.
And poor whites, let's make sure, let's be careful now, because you say things and you get people miscombobulated and they're still tribal. The reality is, this is brilliant. This is right on. This is why there is no anti-war movement. It's because they don't care. You don't care. Because it's not you. If it's not you going, if your kids are too old, they don't have to go. If you don't have to go, you don't give two damns. But that's why I posted what I did earlier today. I said, you want to make America great again? Bring back the draft. I want to see the draft across the board. I'm going on record right now. I want the draft. I want the draft. You know why I want the draft? Because I want you to go fight. I want you to go kill. I want you to go risk your life for the Rothschilds. That's what I want. I think bringing back the draft is important. We need the draft right now. I want old ladies. I want young ladies. I want old men. I want young men. All ages, all classes. We need the draft. And guess what it'll do? It'll take that apathy out of your heart. It'll melt your ice cold heart where you're yelling and screaming for your political party and your politician to keep murdering children all over this planet. I want the draft. This is brilliant and they are spot on. People don't give a damn, so you gotta make them give a damn. Gotta make them give a damn. Put them in a tank. Give them a gun in their hand and send them to another nation. Don't let them have that Starbucks in the morning. Don't let them drive to work in a cushy BMW using all that don't give a damn privilege. This is why I don't give two damns about this white privilege word. I don't give two damns about it because you're privileged. I watch people all day long. Poor, black, white, green, yellow, from all classes, apathetic as the day is long, not giving two damns because it's not them. Privilege. You're all privileged. We are all privileged. I'm privileged. I think the difference between my friends and I, if this is your first time watching us, is we're trying to use our privilege to do some good. We're trying to use our privilege to avert your apathetic train, the train that you're on, the one that you're fueling for your side, your team, to continue in this direction of destroying the planet and the human race. So the next Kali Yuga, the next Yuga comes along, has to look at all the things we've created, because the only thing that will be left will be what, the Hoover Dam, the pyramids will probably still be here, the Sphinx, and they'll just look at it and try to figure out who came before us. What were they about and why did they go extinct? They went extinct because we're stupid. That's why. We're 98% monkey. And people still debate about it. Justin, don't let it give you nightmares. Let me address that real quick. Nothing I say should give you nightmares. Nothing. This is how it's been going on for probably millions of years. The beautiful thing is we are actually having a conversation about it. And I kind of doubt, even though we know ancient civilizations were connected all over this planet, they were probably connected by boats and blimps. Who knows what they had? V-monitors. They weren't connected by an internet. For whatever reason, we evolved in a direction this time where we have circuit boards and whatever. We have world, or without some sort of a, I don't know, psychic astro projection or whatever. Everybody can sit down, go online, and see what's happening on the other part of the world and realize why their shirts only cost $10 because they got slaves making them in another country. We can fix the problems with the world, but we got to put away this apathy.
or because a computer's going to do it for you, then you're going to let them bomb whoever the hell they want to.
Absolutely, and it's possible that we're really not going to see the revitalization of a strong anti-war movement when, the military becomes increasingly autonomous and there's less and less of a human role in the military.
It doesn't affect you. God, that's brilliant. This is an important conversation. Let's keep having it.
I think so. Thank you.
I'm Rick Sanchez. You found us on YouTube, and
simply brilliant. Made perfectly good sense. That's why we don't have an anti-war movement, because we don't have to go fight. That's why most people don't give a damn, and they will pull that lever to send your kids and send the poor off to go fight in their stead to keep their lattes at $5. It's sick. It's sick, but we can fix it. That's why, Brother Justin, you can't let it get you down. You got to just keep pushing forward. All we can do is talk, right? Like I said, I'm not into this whole revolution by force and whatever, but you can talk. You can open your mouth. You can get behind projects. You can get behind the Venus Project and the Zeitgeist Movement, the Ubuntu Project. You can get behind things that actually help, not politics, not robbing Peter to pay Paul or blowing up Peter because you want to steal something that Paul has. That's all it is. Violations, violating each other. You're just abusers looking to abuse somebody else. And you think because they're adults, it's not like domestic violence, like you got a wife beater on and you're beating your wife. That's the same damn thing. You're beating your neighbor. The difference is you don't see your neighbor. You just pull a lever, and young men and women who want to serve their country go around the planet and do it for you. All right, that's a little harsh. That's a little rough. Was that a little rough? Was that a little? Everybody okay? We okay? All right, I'm gonna go in the comments. One other thing I did want to show you. Linking together this reality that nations don't exist, that everything is just 3 or 4 power structures that control everything, and they give people the illusion of nation to make them stupid and patriots and whatever they are. I was fooled too. I was fooled. I was fooled as the day is long. But we don't have to be anymore. We can do our homework. All right, something else. They were talking about. Let me show you this. As always, I like to show you what I was looking at. Driving my thoughts in the morning. I didn't watch that Nazi something. Protests erupting around the world. This was interesting. Sanchez was talking about how all over the world, there are people protesting post-elections, and that people are getting fed up. There's another reason, Brother Justin, you shouldn't have nightmares. People are getting fed up. People are growing up. You still got a bunch of them running around acting like children, like they don't know what's going on. But people all over the world, from the yellow vests all over Europe and even in the United States, people are getting upset. Not enough, but some are. What is this? Russian jet intercepts spy planes. Yeah, that happened. That happens all the time, though. We keep playing with these massive weapons of war, and it's not because. Well, I don't think anyone's in control of this. Like I said before, I just think that you have 3 or 4 big banking cartels that own nations, and they're all just fighting over who gets to own the world, right? But the thing they don't understand, and I think they underestimate, is how stupid we are. What they don't understand, and what they underestimate, is once you get that ball rolling, like Putin said, you may not ever be able to pull it back. We are some violent monkeys. When the bombs start falling, all of them are gonna fall. We got enough nuclear devices to blow this planet up 100 times in public released information. And when does your government that you vote for ever not lie to you? We probably could blow this planet up 500 times. And only we can save ourselves. What is this? Losing weight by knowing your bad foods. Okay. I don't know. Food is important though. Food is important. That's how you keep people from becoming violent. Take care of people. Look out for people. That's what I think all those religions are. They were just something telling you that you never make it. We want you to make it this time. People form a religion around it. All right, I'm gonna do comments. Yes, but it should be taken seriously, Brother Danny. Yes, we need to take Putin very seriously. We need to take AI very seriously. We need to take 5G very seriously. We need to take pesticides and chemicals and poisoning the planet and climate change very serious. We don't need to agree with the data. We don't need to agree with the person. We don't need to agree with what they say. is the problem. All we got to do is look around the world. Are the climates changing? Of course they are. They always have been since the beginning of time. Are we speeding them up? Don't know, don't care. Doesn't matter. We need to look out for each other. Bottom line. Look in the man's eyes, it's not a threat, he's claiming. Yeah, well, you know what, Dan? When you look in his eyes, like you could, and even the people in the room, right? I can go back and look at it. Even the people in the room, they were concerned. Like, you know, I kind of feel like, let me see if I can find this one guy. I kind of feel like when he did this, he was acting out of character. He was off script. He was off the reservation, and he was trying to pass a warning that you guys have no idea how your world actually works. And you can see the concern. This guy right here. Look at this dude right here. Look at his brother. And look at the concern in his face when Putin was explaining to him. Like, you know, I thought we were just going to come and lie to each other again. I thought we were just going to come and talk about geopolitics and America and this and this. You're actually talking like an adult. You're actually saying things that make sense. You're actually saying we're all going to die if we don't stop acting ignorant. We don't stop playing out these scripts for the banks that control everything, keeping the world in conflict. This man looks concerned. It's Putin. He's trying to tell you, once I get going, I'm not pulling back, because he's working for his banks, right? He's working for, and you know, a good example of that is when Putin says something and the defense minister say something else. You ever notice that? And then Putin will say with the defense minister, they'll go to whether it's with the S-400s, and there's another instance that's in my mind. Remember Trump? Trump went over to Russia and said, oh, the Russian agencies and blah, 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 you guys doing a good job. At least you wouldn't have lost the emails. And he came home and they sat him down and he changed his mind. The people who work for him, the CIA, whoever sat him down and talked, say, oh, I misspoke. That should tell you that your leaders don't run the world. They're just puppets, all of them. But what Putin's trying to explain to you is once this ball gets rolling, we ain't pulling it back. When we start targeting Americans, we're not pulling those nukes back. When we start putting satellites over Americans' heads, they're intending to drop. And if the ball is far enough, we're going to drop them. Putin has no interest in killing Americans. The American government has no interest in saving Americans' lives. So you can stop playing nation. It's a game. They're lying to you. And this man finally told you the truth. But it was only for a moment, because I'm sure right after it was over, he got right back on script. Why? Because if he pulls at JFK, they're going to kill him like they killed JFK. It's just the facts. Yes, Brenda, it's just the facts. Just the ugly facts. That's all you do. Look at the facts, make up your own mind. Focus on earthly things, not more important things, such as love and the next generation. But that's right, Mary, and this is why we have to pull people back. People know, Mary. People know. They know how stupid they're being. They know how ignorant they're being. They know it's just ego and all the little games that they're playing on. They know they're indoctrinated. They know. We just don't know how to get to them. That's the problem. That's our problem. I try to say it in different ways, Mary. I try to say it in different ways. I try to be nice to people. I think I'm a nice guy, but I try to explain it in different ways. Like, we gotta grow up. We gotta stop playing this game. We gotta stop being played and look at how the world really works and make some real changes and just walk away. I'll walk away. We gotta do something. And doing something isn't necessarily something physical, right? It could just be making things like Putin's talk popular. Speak on it, get involved in something. I tell everybody, plant seeds, grow perennials. I don't grow perennials for me. I don't put fruit trees in for me. Half the time, if it takes 7 years for them to fruit, I may not be at that house. That's not the point. The point is somebody can eat from that tree. In the future, animals can eat from the tree. We got to protect ecosystems. Feeding the ecosystem is the only thing that's prolonging and keeping this planet going, while the psychopathic killers at the top are trying to destroy it. We have to make sure we take care of ecosystems and animals and people and not wait for whatever profit we get back from it, right? Just take care of the land, whatever land you are on right now. Take care of it. And if you're not on land, you're locked up in the city, then you need to look at a project, perhaps to invest some of your earnings, your slave labor earnings into. Because that's what's important, is moving forward, investing in the future generation. The only thing that I ask y'all to think about is when you do invest in a project, when you do take some of your labor for a greater cause, let's call it tithing, shall we? Make sure that cause is to actually fix the root problem. A lot of fake causes out there. What's a fake cause? A falls. You got a lot of falses and fuggles. You got a whole lot of fake struggles and fake causes and fake organizations faking that they're trying to solve a problem, like the federal government. You got a lot of them writing laws to solve problems, lying about it, trying to make a business out of the problem. The only thing that I have interest in, and then you figure out how you would. The only things I ever have interest in and donating to, things that are actually addressing the root problem and don't have time for side effects. Can't be any secrets. All technology has to be open source. We are not playing with bows and arrows anymore. We are playing with destroying the entire damn planet and all life on it. There can't be any secrets. I only invest in open source projects. I'm only interested in open source projects. And my other requirement is I'm not interested in you making money. I'm not interested in it being a profit business. I'm interested in money going away. If I know the problem, to me, problems with the world is money and secrecy, right? We don't have any transparency and censorship, and governments and billionaires and corporations have the ability to conspire, right? When there are no secrets and everything is open source, they can't conspire. You don't have to worry about conspiracy theory. You just look the information up. I would never invest. And I'm not talking about money. I ain't talking about money. Money is a way to invest. I'm talking about every type of investment. Time, voting, investment in financially. The only thing I have, investment in pressing the like button, investment in pressing the share button. The only things I try to invest in are the things that are based in the core principalities of what I think is wrong. And maybe that's what you need to too, which is why you won't catch me voting with a gun to my head for your Democrats or your Republicans. You won't catch it. You won't catch it. I mean, right now, the way it is, you're not gonna catch me voting at all. And that includes the Greens. I voted Green last time. I can't vote for a system. Why would I invest in a system that wants to keep money going? Why would I invest in a system that wants to keep central banking going? How different are any of the parties? The only difference I see is those two are genocide. Rob people. It's not made to govern you or give you freedom or democracy or keep you safe. It's a Rothschild tank. It's designed to dominate a world or to destroy the world trying, fighting with the Russian central bank and the Chinese central bank and the other central banks that are out there. Killbots already have all facial recognition, good old Facebook. Yeah, they do, Daniel. And they want AI war machines for the same reason I think we need AI garden drones, right? Highly targeted and specific. The drones, they can just upload your face and they can sit in a bush till you walk out your house. They won't kill anybody else, they'll come and murder you. You know, for the same specific reason, warfare is changing like growfare needs to change. It needs to become very specific. Not growing 100 acres of one crop that's unsustainable, so you have to spray a bunch of pesticide on it to keep it alive, but having a food forest. See, that's what a garden drone can actually do. It can grow a food forest for the animals, the ecosystem, and the humans. And that's why we got to get better at what we do, the same way the killers are getting better at what they do every single time. But Putin is not playing. Putin is not playing. This man is telling you the truth. He had his moment to be honest with you, and he's honest with you. And all the psychopaths have done it. Barack Obama's been honest for a minute. All right, maybe about 32 seconds. Ocasio, I'm pretty sure she's been right somewhere. Yeah, she said a few things. Bernie said a few things. All the psychopaths, all the people placed in the kill chair, They both said a few good things. We're gonna have a chance to. The rest of the time, Vietnam War objectors were fueled by the fear of something. Dang it, it just moved past. I'm sorry, Brother Anthony, I missed that. I'm gonna try to do comments and then AI with the war-based programming, what could go wrong? Exactly, Susan, and that's the whole point. Like, they're making AI, like, why is AI being used to kill people at all? Like, how psychopathic is anybody out there using learning software to murder some of their cousins? How crazy is that? How many husbands and wives do you have out there trying to create a tool to kill their wife or their husband faster or better, or their children? It's a very psychopathic industry to begin with, that anybody with a brain in their head is actually trying to come up with ways of murdering people better. It's ridiculous and it's psychopathic. Stop. Stop. Of course they're going to use it to kill people. That's all it is. And it's not, and so for Susan, for me, it's not even about like the Terminator thing. Oh, the robots turn against us. We don't actually need robots turning against us. Look around the planet. Have a look. Have you been to Washington, D.C.? Have you been to Detroit? Have you been to Tupelo, Mississippi? Have you been to the West Bank? We don't have to worry about AI. There's nothing about AI we need to be worried about. We got human un-eye murdering us right now. We got leader un-eye starving people all over the United States. We have AI, human eye, destroying the ecosystem that everything on this planet needs to live, breathe, and eat. We don't have to worry about AI. You know what? And half time I think about Susan, I don't think we can make a machine dumber than a human. I don't even know if that's possible. Is it even possible to worry about? Is it even possible to make a computer as dumb and psychopathic and crazy and stupid as we are? I don't know. It's not about the leaders. It's not about the leaders. The leaders become what they become. If you get behind them, they're going to do what the system requires. War is terrible. It destroys kids and everyone with anything to do with it. It destroys kids and everyone with anything to do with it. I hate guns and bombs and wars. And that's deep, Tina, because you just said something there. It destroys kids and everybody that has anything to do with it. Tina, it's destroying my family. It's destroying my friends. I grew up around people that had so much love. Decent people. Decent people. But after a while, war becomes normal for you. Just like Putin was saying, war just becomes a part of the lexicon. Genocide and murder and rape, it's just how the world works. Oh, it's just, anybody ever tell you that? Oh, human beings are just violent. Oh, they've just been killing each other for thousands of years. Yeah, you look nice, you talk nice, you look like a nice person, you go to church and Bible study. It turns them into Tina, doesn't it? Highly deep. Thank you for that. Absolutely, thank you for that nugget. It's just not the people that you murder, and it's not the troops that you, young kids that you go send to murder those other people. It's not just destroying them, but it destroys the soul of the people who sit at home and don't raise a finger. Those cowards, that it becomes normalized to them. And they're okay with it, and they keep going. I'm assuming God had me watch this message today. Gee, I needed to see this. Well, thank you, Justin. I wouldn't say God has anything to do with anything that I do. Justin, I try. I'm just doing my best to say, y'all, we shouldn't kill each other. We shouldn't kill the world. Kind of like the world. The world's kind of fun. Food is kind of delicious when you can eat it without vomiting up because you got so much radiation in you because the nuclear fallout. I kind of think that's important. I think the whole planet works together in the way it should, Brother Justin. I think everybody has to speak their mind, don't speak your indoctrination. And I think everything shakes out how it's supposed to. But everybody's got to be true to them and what they see in their experiences and really work in the mirror at getting that Rothschild indoctrination out of you, or that Chinese banking indoctrination out of you, or that Russian banking indoctrination out of you. The whole American indoctrination, that's a joke. Like that anybody would actually think that nations still exist is beyond me. It's just so beyond me. Anytime I find a American indoctrination, I laugh at it. It's not even like ripping out. It's like, I can't, you got me again. You know what, you got me. I was thinking about the flag and the allegiance. Oh yeah, you got me. Raw Therica. If your nation is owned by Rothschild Central Banking, that is who owns your nation, not you. Your voting doesn't matter any damn bit. Nothing your politicians say matter. It's the people who write the checks. Always the people who write the checks. All they had to do was raise college fees instead of drafting. Ooh, yes, Jeannie, yes. They raise college fees. You create a lot more poor people because they can't go work for the big corporations. They don't want them to anyway because they're automating people out of jobs. And the kids don't have a choice but to go into war. You know, the interesting part is most anti-war people I know are people who have either served in the military or their military families. Because we're the ones who actually get to see. We're the ones who've lost people close because of the war effort. And it's one thing to lose somebody by accident. It's something else to lose somebody close to you over a lie. A lie that you get nothing out of, that they got nothing out of, but they literally died for nothing. Nothing. And what it does, I tell you what it did in my head. I wasn't gonna let that ride. I was not gonna let that ride. It took my uncle and it took my father, the war effort. I wasn't gonna let that ride. I'm not gonna let it ride. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that they didn't die in vain. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure every soldier and everybody they killed didn't die in vain. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that every soldier that lost their mind, lost their leg, lost anything over there because they were young people and lied to in the war effort. All the babies, genocide, and yeah, I'm not gonna let none of that ride. I'm not gonna let none of that ride. When am I gonna stop? When you shove 5G in my brain, murder me, and shove me in the ground. When am I gonna stop? I'm gonna stop when you come to my house and you put that gun in my mouth and blow my brains out. That's when I'm gonna stop. Until then, I have a service to 6,999,99, a couple other nines in it. I can't stop. Once you see the light, you can't. You can't. You know, the people who brought me into this life, they raised me and gave me a brain that thinks for itself. I can't turn my back on any of them. And a lot of them were indoctrinated and they didn't get it either. But that's what being an upgrade is. It's not doing what the previous generation did. It's looking around at your world and figuring out how things work and making things better. That's what we got to do. So no, and that's not a violent thing. It's not violent to me. Like, oh, that's being a martyr. That's right. It's not my choice. It's not like I'm going to kill myself. The pharmaceutical industry, when they get sick of you, they go kill Dr. Sebi. If I ever say something, one of the wrong things, they'll come take me out. They took out Nipsey Hussle. They take out JFK. They're going to kill people who get in the way. All the doctors that they kill. You know, so it's not like a government thing. It's a power and secrecy thing. You know, you say something against the mob or somebody, they kill you. If I'm actually successful and I go to Detroit and I make lettuce and tomatoes free and onions and get some land and grow wheat automatically with some robots or hemp, I like hemp better. Robots work better with hemp because you can do everything with hemp. You know, and they've got the robots in the field now. Actually, they're combines, but they need to be small robots. But they can harvest the hemp and right on the field process it to make it ready to be used for clothing, right? So we can make flour, tomatoes, basil. You see where I'm going? Anybody getting hungry? Pizza. We can make pizza free in every city all around the world with automation. Pizza's free for everybody. I like pizza because kids like to eat pizza, but it'll be organic, it'll be fresh, it'll be hemp flour, not that wheat belly crap hybrid that's killing everybody with celiac disease and autoimmunity. We can do that, but you know, it's gonna piss somebody off. What'll happen? They're gonna come find you. That's okay. Now come find me. Like I said, fear doesn't exist in me. The only thing I'm scared, what am I scared of? I don't know, like it's like, oh, Big Pizza. Say Big Pizza runs Detroit. And we take this project and we make food pizza free for everybody in Detroit. Anybody who wants it anyway, starting with the most in need. And Big Tomato and Big Pizza in Detroit, they have no interest in that. Why? Because they want to make money. They want to make money and bought the houses, the cars, the yachts, and they got to pay for it. Yeah, it doesn't have to be big. It could just be the janitor. He got a job at the big pizza shop and he don't want to lose his job. He'll come kill you. And that's what he probably supposed to do. It's okay. That's just how the world works. We have to fix it all. We have to fix it all and accept whatever the consequences are. Renaturalizing. Yes, Lori, we got to renaturalize. We got to go back to who we used to be. We got to go back to being human beings. We got to go back to it being a birthright to live. Live can no longer be a benefit of corporations and big banking. It can't be a bonus handed to children because they go to college, they luck up in birth, and they get a job. That has to stop. That has to stop 1,000 years ago. Don't throw away plants or seeds. Put them in the woods, meadows, open fields, and roadsides. Yes, Susan. And what do they call them? The seed bombs. Make seed bombs, throw them all over the place. Everywhere. Throw them all over the place. Live in a city, throw them in the alleyways. You live in a city and it's concrete jungle everywhere. Give money to a kid, send them to the country and throw seed bombs everywhere. Seed bombs with food. Seed bombs with apple trees and pear trees and tomatoes and peppers. We need to get food grown again, and damn it, go ahead and sneak. I say, if you feel so inclined, sneak a little cannabis and hemp in there. That's what we need, a whole lot of seed bombs. Things that will feed and protect and take care of people when all of this falls apart. Like, why are the deer populations down so low? Because they don't have any food in the woods anymore. We chopped it all down. That's why you see foxes in the daytime and not at night anymore, because they're becoming daytime creatures. We killed all their food and they're forced to look for it in the day. When currencies collapse, we need to take care of people. And the only way you take care of people is you make sure they have the things that don't make them go psychopathic. Food, water, house. Look at the messages from the past. They had great civilizations and they all went bye-bye. All of them. They're all gone. They're all dust beneath your feet. Whatever they came up with, they didn't come up with enough love, enough critical thought to prevent the greedy at the top from not focusing on the things that matter most. And I think that's mostly what Putin was trying to say. Just watch Moriah Gamble and Geoff Lawton on permaculture. Very inspiring. Thank you, Kia. If I've watched them, the names aren't resounding, but permaculture is important, right? Permaculture, the word permanent culture. Like, think about the depth of that word. We need to become a permanent species. We need permanent love. We need permanent culture. We need permanent food. We need permanent housing. We need permanent water. We need permanent relationships with other cousins around the planet. We need perma everything, but especially permaculture and food. Food forests. Forests of food that protect each other and protect themselves. The plants all have symbiotic relationships with the microbiology in the soil and the plants around them. You don't have to geek out in plant world to process that. Just think everything is ecosystem. That's why people are so sick, because they unnaturally farm. They're not growing organic food. It has got an organic stamp on it, but it's not natural. The difference between chemical food, organic food, and natural food. Chemical food and organic food, it makes customers of the pharmaceutical industry because it makes people very sick and diseased. You want natural food, and unfortunately only people or learning software, intelligent AI type green drones can grow that. You can't grow that and make enough money to survive in America, and this is why it's not the farmer's fault necessarily. They can't grow enough of it to survive and feed their family. A lot of them that I know would go back to being natural growers, right? Taking what we know, taking the organic methods they grew a couple hundred years ago before big corporations bought all the farms, and go back to growing. Shoot, I'm one of them. I can't get my fingers out the soil. I was planting seeds today. What I planted today? I planted some more of that mucilix lettuce. I actually planted a mimosa pudica. I transplanted it. And what else I planted this morning? I was running a little late. I didn't do a whole lot. But my whole day, it starts in the greenhouse. My whole day starts with how can I cultivate something natural, something that is sustaining of life, and how can I be less tribal? How can I turn it? You know, I try to find out who does my existence offend. That isn't a greedy bastard killing other people. Who does my indoctrination offend? And I try to get rid of that. And this is why it takes you to a point of neutrality. You can't be on a team and be a human being. To be on a team, you gotta be apathetic. To have a label, you gotta be apathetic. You have to not give a damn about something. And that's why I love this system. I love the model of whatever put us here. You have to become neutral and be an individual and be strong. They both go around the world creating food for us. Love them to death, kid. Thank the cousins for that. Thank the cousins for that. My favorite is Elaine Ingham. You know, but she talks about soil food web. So there's a lot to it. And I think Kia loves that stuff. I love it too. There are a lot of people who like to get in the ground and understand how all this works, and other people who don't. And we don't want you to. Like, if that's not your thing, that's not your thing. If your thing is painting or music or whatever it is, then you should go do that. But we have a system that stops you from doing it because the Rothschilds and then the Rockefellers, you know, the corporations, they want you to work for them. So everybody cheers when you get a big job, making lots of money. To me, I cry. I cry because I feel sad for you, actually. When you're so proud that your child got a job, making a lot of money in a big corporation, my heart weeps. My heart weeps, one, for the child who you just didn't know any better to teach them what that actually means. What it means for the world, what it means for their future, and what it means for those on the bottom that are starved more and more because these young people getting jobs are paid higher and higher salaries. But that's why you have gated communities, right? To keep people separate so that people behind the gates don't see the poor people starving outside. That's what college is. That's what class is. That's what these income levels are. But not everybody wants to see it because it's an ugly picture. It is an ugly picture. And Brother Justin, some people need to have nightmares. Because when you have nightmares, then you can really start to process why our ancients built all of this, how they built all of it, and how they could be so phenomenal to build a pyramid that we can't even build today, and how they had all that power and lost it all, and they all became soil. All right. Veterans for peace. Yes, Lori, because they come back and they tell us the truth. Voting doesn't matter, and Biden has already been picked in the back room over cigars. And that's how it works, Iconic. Well, I think they picked him as the running guy, but they already picked the president too. The Rothschilds, they've already sat back there, had a meeting. It's probably like a family barbecue. They all got together. The Rothschilds that own the Britain, and the Rothschilds that own Switzerland and Germany and America, they all got together. Hey, how you been? I ain't seen you in a minute. Their barbecues like us, got the music playing. Yeah, I got the chicken. Eating chicken. They probably don't eat chicken. They probably eat people. Caviar and people and some crackers or something. I don't know. But they get there and talk about, yeah, well, who's going to win in 2020? I don't know. We were thinking, I don't know, Biden or Trump. I'm not sure which, but Biden will be the running mate. Why? Because he's crazy. The guy nuts. I love the guy. The guy is just a psychopath. He's on TV, and people still love him. He's obviously a pedophile, and everybody loves him. How can this is going to be entertaining? We got to get Biden away. Are you sure you want Biden away? Yeah, I think because I think Trump is kind of fun. Like, he's charismatic. He can blow people up, and everybody keeps cheering for him. And they sit there and say, well, who are people most apathetic with? I don't know. And that's what I think is going to win. Personally, I think it's Trump. But it could be Biden, because they just sit there and parents, like, it's crazy. Like, parents who have little girls, parents who have little kids are looking at this guy on TV and they're not even processing it. You know what, and it's not anything against Biden. I'm sure, he's made that way. I get it. He went through some stuff, trauma as a kid, but you can see that man ain't right. You can see that. That's not your baby. He's just kissing on people's ears and touching them like that guy. And you got people, Biden 2020, Biden 2020. Got the little girl with him right in the stroller, and I'm just like, this is why I don't think we make it. This is why I don't think we make it. Like, they're okay with it. They got one side okay with a pedophile dropping bombs on kids around the world, and then the other side, they're okay with Trump, who's saying we need to murder children and give them guns and weapons for jobs. And I'm just like, I go to church with both of y'all. Now listen, I fall asleep in Bible study too. Don't get me wrong, I do, and I fall asleep when the pastor gets to talking. I do. But I heard the part about you not supposed to murder people for jobs, and I was paying attention to the part where you're not supposed to stick your tongue in little girls' ears as a grown man, 72 years old. I was paying. I just felt like, oh Lord. I had to give them a little time. I get a Bernie coat most of the time, but it boggles my mind. It does. I'm just like, do you not see that this man needs to be on a sofa somewhere in a padded cell with somebody with a notepad or something, asking him why he was like killing puppies as a child? And I don't know. But that's the world we live in. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. I just posted a long comment and photo. Okay, Brenda. Wait a minute before I try again. All right, Brenda, try to post it. Okra monster. Yes, we need to kill the okra monsters. Jenny, all over the world. I'd love kids in Michigan to have fresh, whole food instead of government-free cheese. Oh, that's a quote, Tina. That's a quote. And we can do that. But that's why I'm saying we have to. I don't really have the time, to be honest with you, to do the things that I want to do, that I say I'm going to do, but I have to do. I have to do, because if we don't do it, it ain't going to get done. Government ain't going to do it. Most people, they still think government is there to help. They're still voting for that to happen. We have to feed the children in Michigan. We have to feed the children in D.C. We have to feed the children in the Appalachian Mountains. We have to feed these kids. You know what, Tina, if we do that, if we are successful as people in taking care of the next generation like we're adults who've got half a brain in our little beady 98% monkey heads, the next generation will become what it's supposed to. And if, by chance and luck, we don't let these Democrats and Republicans destroy the entire damn planet working for Rothschilds, if by luck we don't slip up and let Germany and the UK do the same thing because they work for the same people, and China and Russia, their central banks, if by luck we actually feed the next generation so they don't have a conflict, their basic needs are met, their food, their water, their house, those kids will become phenomenal creatures. They won't grow up with the hate. They won't grow up with the labels, because life will be good. They'll go off and do the things that they're supposed to do instead of things that big corporations want them to do. That'll fix it all. That will fix it all. You'll have 360 million American kids that become adults that don't have conflict with their neighbors. They have health. They have strength. They'll have independence, and they'll be doing the things that they love. You ever try to get somebody that loves life to go murder somebody? You ever try to do that? Why would I try to do that? I know. People who love life have no interest in your conflicts. Kids who are happy have no interest in your conflict. They can't even pay attention. They're just in the Legos and the blocks. They're enjoying life, and they're doing what they're supposed to do. But you can take miserable people and you can get them to do anything. You can get them to be a Democrat. You can get them to be a Republican. You can get them to be apathetic. I think just by feeding people, people become what they're supposed to. But outside of that, it's our requirement. I think that's our job. Our job is to be upgrades. Our job is to look out for the next generation more than we look out for ourselves. Our job is to feed the next generation more than we're shoving money in a bank account for our retirements. Our job is to make sure that the adults aren't sleeping in warm beds while you still got children sleeping on rocks. That's our job. That's our job. It's not even given to us by God. It's not even given to us by anything other than common damn sense. Common damn sense that a cockroach has, that a slug has. It looks out for its next generation. We might be the only species on this planet that's just dumb enough to make sure we're more cushy and comfy than the kids that are coming behind us. All right. We're on long today. Let me see. Brother Carl is in the house. Carl doing his thing, protecting the bees, beekeeper. Love you to death, brother. Good job. That's the one who taught me not to be scared of bees. I had an issue with bees till I met Brother Carl. All right. He got me to pick up a bee and showed me a wasp eating on his hand. I was like, man, I'm in conflict with the bees for nothing. I was in conflict with yellow jackets for nothing. I was indoctrinated to hate nature and hate bees, and bees didn't give two damns about me. That was a brother that showed me that they just want some resources. A wasp lands on your hand. Yeah, he might take his little thing and grab some skin cells from you. He wants some resources, but he didn't want to sting you. And he ain't got nothing to do with you. He's like an alien flying around in space. He's not really interested in you. They might land and get some resources, like that video where they took that power from the sun. Did y'all see that? Where the UFO came up to the sun. There's another NASA footage, and it sucked the plasma into it, the big ball of a UFO thing, and then it flew away. I don't know, it's like evidence everywhere that, it's just everything is just going around collecting energy. It doesn't really want to kill you. And when everything can get the energy that it needs, it leaves you alone. Don't make me show the video. We ain't done aliens in a minute. Don't make me show you. I'll show you the video. Don't make me. I got to get out of here. The citrus trees grow like crazy here, lemons, oranges, especially, yes, I think Jeannie said that. And y'all should be growing citrus and lemon and lime. Everything that grows in your climate, grow the hell out of it. Because you can't grow the things I can grow. It's a little too hot there for apples. I grow the apples, you grow the citrus, and we send a little cart and a horse and trade. You get some apples and I get some oranges and everybody's good. But when you put it on a big barge and boat and ship it around the world because you want a lot more money than your neighbor and you want to starve the kids in your area because you get more money in global trade than somebody else, then we got a problem. Then kids become the psychopaths they should become. And they join MS-13 and Bloods and Crips and they start shooting each other. They became what they were supposed to. They followed natural law. You were an apathetic adult. You created a situation that was starving them, and they became survivors by them warrior genes turning on. They were being true to who they're supposed to be. You weren't. You were supposed to be an adult. You were supposed to make sure that the kids in your world had food and they didn't have to fight for it. If you make them into fighters, that's what they become. Change starts with us, not in a vote. It does, Jeannie. Change starts right in our own mirrors. There's no such thing as permanent. If you don't work like that, things change no matter how structured, except for the pyramids. Right, I agree with that. I totally agree with that, Brother Justin. That's been around for a while. Absolutely agree with that, Justin, is that nothing's permanent. But change. And there are things that change with the environment and the ecosystems that have a permanent like type thing. Principalities are permanent. There will always be something that fixes compounds for plants, like the fungi, the mycorrhizae fungi in the root system. In a billion years, it might be called Gerard fungi. I don't know. It might be Justin, and so that change happens, but there'll always be something within that system that fits in and balance and keeps the system going. You see what I'm saying? Like, things always change. Absolutely, totally agree. But the ecosystem, the system, the balance can't change. If the balance changes, everything goes away, right? So it's when you think of permaculture, it's maintaining the ecosystem in a way that the balance maintains itself. And all the cogs are constantly changing. This microbiology is blowing up here and that one there because it's thriving on this and that and that. But what doesn't change is the permanent nature of the system. A system that's functional and providing for all in abundance. That's what I'm talking about. I love these talks. Thanks. You keep me inspired to follow my intuition. Please do, Cheryl. If you don't follow your intuition, We all gonna die. If Cheryl Miller does not fall, if she does not, then you're useless. You're useless too. Sure, I don't want you to be useless. I want you to be useful to 6,999,999,999 in some sense. And the only way that happens if that's this phenomenal creature named Cheryl Miller is who she's supposed to be and doing what she's inspired to do. Otherwise, we're not benefiting from Cheryl being here. We want to benefit from you being here. And the only way that happens is if we provide the ecosystem, the environment, the society that Cheryl Miller needs to be inspired to do the things that she finds to be beautiful and that she's passionate about. And that's what we should want for everybody. I don't think Biden will win, my opinion. Trump will do a second term. I think that's what I kind of think, Daniel. Because people hate and love him the most. And that's how day trading works, right, Daniel? Like, day trading works on destabilizing markets. That's how they make their money, because when things are unstable. And in government, I see Rothschilds, they make the most money with the Rockefellers, because not just banking, it's the other big corporations too. They make the most money with things unstable. And they make the most money with people who are unstable. So people who hate him and love him. That just don't listen to anything that he says, don't listen to anything that he does. They're just on that conflict team. And I think that he has more charisma. He has more profit potential because he draws in so much love and hate. So I think he probably is going to win again. I think it's just money. I think economics determines everything. And I think he's just more valuable to the crazy people who run all of this. Biden's rich anyway. He's such a risk. That brother's a risk. Boy, he can't keep them fingers in his pockets. Boy, he can't keep them lips to himself. And it's not funny. It's not funny. It's laughable because it's ridiculous that this is actually happening. That we really have to sit here and wonder who the trillionaires and billionaires have picked to run America. If it is the social media Twitter thug that tells everybody really, really raw how evil their nation is and nobody really cares, they just hate him or love him. Or the guy who just can't stop, wants to put his tongue in little girls' ears and everybody's okay with this. This is like where we are. Oh, asteroid, please come soon. Please. Asteroid, tsunami, please. We're overdue for a sterilization. This is really what's happening. The rest of the world's probably like sitting around like, yeah, that's America. That's exactly what they're doing. I got family there. I try to tell them, but they just not getting it. We go in. All right, I'm sorry. Last couple comments. The only way it happens is everybody gets a bong, one love, family, peace, and light. Yes, Daniel, and I think if everybody smoked a lot more cannabis, we would not have these problems. If people were doing mushrooms and psychedelics, we'd be okay. I do. I haven't, and I don't think that I will. I keep thinking about it. I almost did on 2 occasions, ate a mushroom, but I never did. I like to be in control of my faculties, and to me, it's more of a roaming curiosity. Like, I'm just curious about it, But short of eating the cannabis, I drank some cannabis tea. That was about it. In a country that it was legal to do so. Just to let everybody know, not admit no guilt. This is America. Don't admit a damn thing. They'll put you in prison for everything. We are slaves. We are inmates. And they just want to put you in solitary confinement. You're in the cubicle right now. It's not a cubicle. You're in a cell. They wouldn't want to put you in solitary. Oh, you know what? I did. I had a law I wanted y'all to pass. Did anybody pass the law? Anybody, politicians, y'all listening? I wanted an international law passed. It was, what was it called? I forgot what it was called. The Deletion Act of 2019, something like that. I was thinking, what if we had a worldwide law that actually agreed with this philosophy that governments are actually there for people? They're picked for the people, they're by the people, and we need to rock the vote. But we had an act, we'll call it Law Deletion Act of 2019. A law that makes that a reality. If your politicians write a law and more than 10,000 people break that law that year, the law automatically is deleted. Why? Well, Because if 10,000 people broke that law, 10,000 people don't agree with that law. Probably 100,000 people don't agree with that law, which means that that law actually wasn't for them, it was for you. That law wasn't an act of governing, it was an act of ruling. And a great way, I think, to fix a lot of law structure, you just look at all the laws, and if 10,000 people broke that law, it goes away, whether that be cannabis, or mushrooms, or speeding, parking tickets, whatever it is. If the people don't agree with it, then it shouldn't exist. If that many people don't agree with it, then the law shouldn't exist. Now, outside of violent crime, the whole violent thing, that's a whole different point. That's a whole different discussion. But just like in these other silly laws, you know, it's like, well, but people will be speeding on the roads. And I just think, is that such a bad thing? Like, whatever happened to letting people just be people and learning? What if people didn't drive fast because they realized it was stupid? They learned it was stupid more than there was a little sign that had a number on it. What if we started making people accountable for their own actions, not by law and gun and psychopathic violence and putting them in cages and taking away some of their human slave labor money? What if we just let people learn to do the right things because it's the right thing? Imagine that. Imagine that. Like even seatbelt laws. But if you don't have a seatbelt, they're gonna crash and people are gonna die. Well, guess what? Then you crash and die. You lose your leg, your eye. Guess what? I bet you're gonna put that seatbelt on next time. I mean, just think about it. Like when you raise a species to be self-empowered, then you don't need this nanny state. But if laws are written and people don't want to follow it, then it means it shouldn't have been written. It means that your government's not actually working for you. They actually are wardens. They're ruling you. But they'll never pass that law because your government's not there to govern you. They're to keep you in conflict with your neighbor and to sell all your rights to corporations. That's why they're there. It's not a conspiracy. It's just how governing has always worked. Back when they used to call them kings and lords. Nothing's changed. Nothing that's changed is back then when we were in like flea bottom hovels and throwing poo out the windows and pee and on the streets and people walking to work before there was plumbing. You know, back when we were farming in the fields, working in mud, got the ox and the plow, and you know, the only thing that's different between now and then, the kings have never changed, the governing has never changed. It's still the same psychopathic killers they always been. The only thing that's different is now that we are clean. Now we don't have poo in our ear and mud under our fingers and somebody threw some urine out the window we were walking to work on our suit. The only thing that's different now is we're clean. And we trust the people who have always conspired against us. We trust those people to do right, and they have never done anything since the beginning of creation but done wrong. That's why Jesus didn't like them. That's why Jesus did not like your government. People don't talk about Jesus enough. There you go, you got it. Christ did not like God. Christ didn't believe in government at all. At all, yes. Your Christ. What's that word I'm becoming? What's that word when you don't believe in control? What's that word when you don't believe in the human race needs to be a daycare, when they need to have teachers tell them what to do, they need chaperones go on a field trip where the adults can't make up their own minds and decisions and own choices for their life? What's that word called? It's gonna come to me. Y'all can say it. What's that word when you don't believe in government? Anarchy. Christ was an anarchist. But of course you won't see that on mainstream media. Christ was an anarchist. He believed in sharing with people, helping people, feeding hookers, and all the things that conservatives don't do at all. Because conservative is just a political group. That's nothing to do with Christ. Never did, never will. Christ had no interest in your politics or your governing or your government. He was there to give his people free will. Free will. Like, who's that? Sister Christine just said, independent. Christ was we need to restore free will on this planet. It had nothing to do with Caesar at all, ever. All right, let me get some rolling, closing music and get out of here. It's been long. Oh my goodness, look at the time. I gotta go. Oh my goodness, the plantation. Plantation, like, where is Gerard? Your cotton ain't gonna pick itself. Where that bald bastard at? I had to go back on the plantation. Like, are you kidding me? Why are we paying this slave? Why in the world? What the hell is going on? We need to fix this. That cotton ain't gonna pick itself. But that's me. I had to get this one out. All right, I gotta get going. I gotta go. The only way it happens if everybody you already did that one. Sending all my love, brothers and sisters, wholeness and bound vibration, one love. Absolutely. Thank you, Sister Victoria. The majority will secretly vote for him again. I know, Daniel. I know. They lying. I know, Daniel. That's why my hashtag is we all gonna die. Because I know they lying now. They're like, oh, I'm not gonna vote for Bernie. I'm not voting anymore. I'm not gonna vote for Biden. I'm not gonna vote for Trump. And quietly, election morning, Dan, you know what's gonna happen. They want to end the world. They had no idea. Let me find the right picture. You know what's gonna happen. Like we try and we'll push and we'll talk about positive things and good things, love and light, moving forward and not being scared. People scared. That is tell the truth. You ain't lying to you. People scared as hell. They scared as hell. They acting like adults. They put that face on. I'm not scared of whoever's gonna be. They're scared to death. You know what's gonna happen. You know exactly. This is it right here. They act like they're not scared. That ain't the deal. This is it right here. This. Let me see if I can put this up. This right here. This is what we can look forward to. They're gonna keep voting for it. They're gonna keep pushing. We got to get the bomb. That's what I say. Hashtag we all gonna die. I just laugh at it. I hope that we figure this out, how the world works, and I hope we actually fix this stuff in time. But it's not looking good. It's not. It's not looking good. Usually the monkeys do what the monkeys do. Monkeys see monkey. Monkey see monkey do. And I laugh at it, but I just remember. Your wave energy, people. Wave energy. You're just here to do your job. You're here to like the sister was saying. You're here to just follow your passions and your inspiration. Try to make sure that they are your own and they are authentic. Don't let other people tell you what to do. Don't let indoctrination tell you what to do, where you should be going, who you should be working for. We can somehow free people up so they can just go be whatever reason and passion that they have in their heart and become that, then I think things go well. If parents go back having passion for every child like it's their child, do you think we'd be here? We wouldn't be here. We're here because most parents are pretty much apathetic to the wrong kids, right? If that kid was born in the wrong place, they can see so much love in their kids' eye. Just watching parents playing with their children, it melts their heart. They got that for their kid, but they got to turn it off for somebody else. That's the only way we got this conflict planning. The only way that they keep it, and they keep voting for it, and they keep popping up these systems, is if somehow convince parents and uncles and grandparents and grandmothers and people who got that love in their heart to turn that crap off. Turn it off so the Rothschilds can make some money. Turn it off so whoever's behind the Russian banks can make some money. Turn it off so whoever's behind the Chinese bank can make some money. Go off and pretend that nations exist and nationalism is a thing. Race is a thing and religion's an important idea to go kill each other for. And those gods told you that you're never supposed to kill anything. Not even harm or flee. They didn't shut my comments off. It's just crazy. Censorship is crazy. That's such a crazy thing. But I like censorship because it really tells us that they're worried. Whoever runs all this stuff is worried. That to me is hope. There's something there. They're a little worried about something. They're a little worried that humans are going to find that hard again. They're a little worried. There's a little hope. Little hope. Little Danny's like little teeny weeny hope. Little hope. Little teeny weeny need some Viagra hope. But I'm not laughing at you. You need Viagra. I'm just making a joke. I make jokes, people. None of us personal. All right. You see, too many parents do not believe in the village model. They don't, Mary. They believe in the conflict model. And they believe sending their kids off to conflict on conflict financial society. Most parents barely have time to take care of their offspring's occasional orphans. Yeah, and that by design, Rebecca. By design. You keep parents busy You can make them into monsters. You keep them busy, keep them trying to pay this bill and pay that bill and rob that bill to pay this bill and figure this out, You can make them extremely self-centered, right? You can make them family self-centered. You can make them nation self-centered. You can make people community. You make them self-centered by just keep hitting them across the head, left, right, left, right, left, right. You know, you keep them off of balance, you can turn a human being into a monster. You give them freedom and let them chase their passions and they become amazing things, then they want to love everything. You can't have that. Like, oh no, you can't do that. We can't have people running around running and loving everybody. How are we going to make money? How are we going to have a war? How are we going to starve anybody, have some genocide and steal their resources? We can't do that. Y'all just run around hugging each bit. That's why they took all the hippies and put them in jail. That's why they murdered all of them and threw them in solitary confinement. Run around loving. Can you imagine that? Everybody's running around hugging each other. I can. To me, it's funny because I do that all the time. I hug strangers all the time. People, I gotta hug you. We just hug people. We're supposed to. We're cousins. We're family. People been through stuff, and you have to love people. You gotta love people. All right. Last comment, I'm gonna let go to Sag Guru. I was in Sag this morning. What did he say? He was talking about anger and emotion. They asked him a question. They said, Sag Guru, Brother Sag, you don't ever get upset, do you? You don't ever get mad or anything like that. He says, no, I'm like everybody else. I get upset. He says, but I don't give people the privilege of making me upset. I don't give people the privilege of making me happy or unhappy. That I don't hand out the privilege to other people to ruin my day. I don't do that. Why would I do that? Why would you give the ability and the privilege to a government, a nation, your friends, your family, or any other creature on this planet to ruin your day? Because when they ruin your day, then you want to ruin other people's day. So I don't give them the privilege. Stop giving people the privilege to own your life and to own what you do and own where you work and own what kind of car you drive, own the house you live in, own what kind of watch you gotta have, own the type of shoes you gotta have, own your style, own your sexuality, own what nation you belong to, own what religion you are. Stop letting people own you. You are a phenomenal creature. And we need you to be you. We got work to do. If you can't be you, if you're going to continue to be a slave and let other people own you, give them the privilege of telling you how to live your life in freedom, we ain't going to make it. All right, here you go. Listen, this is Gerard. Love y'all to death. Got to get going. Listen to the messages from the past. All over this planet, there are megalithic structures. All over this planet, there are statues and great civilizations. Every piece of soil on the earth when you're grounding, there's our people. And there are people underneath that. And I'm sure there are buildings and technology that have broken down into dust and minerals and particles. And they all are gone. Because they didn't get in tap with who they are. They didn't live for themselves. Gotta go back to living for yourself. Gotta find out who yourself is. Stop giving other people and systems the privilege of being yourself. Gotta go. Y'all have a great day. Gerard, I'm out. Love y'all now. Bye-bye.